It is time now for the Beer Gel More News on this Tuesday morning, December 1st, 2015. Good morning to you all this lovely Tuesday morning, December 1st, 2015 here. Here are your news that I'm there and top story here at 8:30 here on this Tuesday morning. Here is a Hawaii pilots responded to a technical malfunction and resulted in a crash of Air Asia Flight QZ8501 investigators said on Tuesday. Washington, by conventional political wisdom, Donald Trump should be a presidential has-been by now, by 2 weeks ahead of the final Republican debate of the year and 2 months before the first votes of the primary season are cast. The newly elected mayor of Alaska's capital city has been found dead in his home as police aided in the statement that 70-year-old Stephen Greg Fisk's adult son discovered his father's body inside his judo home. In Paris, President Obama urged Turkey on Tuesday to reduce tensions with Russia that are apprehensive to find Islamic State militants and Syrians threats to the U.S. And Berlin, the political firestorm in the city settled with a shotgun police shootings. Chicago Mayor Robert Emmer is seeking to bend forces. Berlin, the German cabinet on Tuesday approved plans to commit up to 1,200 soldiers to support the international coalition fighting against the Islamic State group in Syria. Prime Minister David Cameron called a vote on Wednesday an extended British airstrikes against Islamic State into Syria after Germany court the city would have tried to force lawmakers from his opposition Labour Party to oppose action. In Olongapo, Philippines, a Philippine court on Tuesday convicted a U.S. Marine killed in the Philippines last week after he discovered she was a transgender woman in a hotel while he was on a break after participating in joint military exercises. On Tuesday, as a key part of the moves to forge a consensus about the climate change agreement, President Obama met with the leaders of countries that did the release of the cause of Obama yet to have the most to lose. Kabul, Afghanistan has opened up improving its working relations with neighboring Pakistan over the next few months for the prelude to the possible return to install peace talks with Taliban insurgent President Ashraf Ghani told a French television station. Boston. Lawyers for Boston Marathon bomber Joe Zarnev is doing court on Tuesday to seek a new trial for the guy as who is sentenced to the death for the 2013 bomb attack that killed 3 people and injured more than 260. It was a familiar scene in Lower Manhattan on Monday, and never state politicians slinked away from federal district court convicted of corruption. Sandra Bland in Naperville, Illinois, died in the Waller County Jail, Texas, in December 2014, 3 days after a routine traffic stop turned contentious and ended with a white state trooper holding her on the ground. Minnesota couple quickly drops $500,000 check to the Salvation Army kettle. China's yuan to join IMF special draw on rights basket. Yuan entered 2016 with 10.92% share in IMF's led by China's central bank state reforms to continue. In San Juan, New York, Puerto Rico faced a moment of truth on Tuesday as the island knows a $55 million payment impossible default, which could trigger lawsuits for spook investors and undermine the islands. After the comment of $72 billion of debt. Washington, the Federal Reserve Board on Monday on top of the wheel that subsequent from bailed out individual companies and changes of Congress demanded after the central bank's controversial decision of American International Group. Fiat Chrysler Automobile NB stated that U.S. auto sales rose 3% in November, leading to reports from a month that is shaping up as one of the best ever for automakers. Paris, apparently in climate change talks on Tuesday, Britain's Prince Charles during delegates and envoys a call for a more accident protective world force from predatory corporations. In Shimonoseki, Japan's whaling fleet set out for the Antarctic on Tuesday to resume a hunt for the mammals after a year-long hiatus, prompting criticism from Australia as well as key ally the United States. It's tough to determine the habits for animals for millions of years ago, but scientists found that the birds inherited the nest and habits from dinosaurs. An international team of scientists has discovered that an ancient marine organism known as Tribogium were able to feed on particles in the water prior to the process called suspension feeding. A UN Children's Fund reported backed by 2 years of research saying increasing HIV infections among adolescents has triggered alarms of a new epidemic. Don't look now, but the future just pulling out as understood scientists Paul and Mr. Bakers and the President's Science Advisor have gathered today in Washington for what will be a 3-day seminar on genetic engineering with a focus on new ones. Utah, Alabama, after decades of relentless rise, the number of new cases of diabetes in the United States has finally started to decline. The brain infection mostly affects infants and elderly ones on what evenly as well as a mosquito-borne virus is spreading very quickly among the U.S. Okay, look at that stock market report here. The Dow, 17,719.92, S&P 500, 28.41, and Nasdaq 5,108.67. Okay, take a look at New England Source here. The Cambridge police reported a possible bomb threat at the middle school. Peter News on 8:35. Time for a sponsor report here. Last night, the Boston Celtics defeat the Miami Heat at Miami 105-95 here. Tonight, both teams have 9 off here. Week 12 is supposed to be a highlight of the 17 meeting between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, where Manning shelf the script flipped to Nintendo doing Patriots pursuit of a second perfect regular season here. When the Cleveland Browns coaches have woke up on Tuesday morning, they realized Monday night was not a dream that later today would itself to sort out and demand mess at quarterback. Peter Cello News Time is now 8:36 on this Tuesday morning here, 1st of December, tied out for 8. Time out for a travel report. Let's take a look at the state of Rhode Island, where 130 in the westbound side of Newport Bridge a little slow. Here, 95 in the northbound side, it is slow from Route 37 and work all the way out to Route 195 to downtown Providence here. 95 on the southbound side, so from Pawtucket, Scripps all the way to downtown Providence here. 146 on the southbound side, so from North Providence all the way to Providence due to an accident here on 146 on the southbound side after Route 15 in North Providence, so expect delays here. 146 on the southbound side, and it is slow from 146A all the way out to Route 99 in Lincoln, down here. 99 on the northbound side, it is slow from 126 all the way out to Route 122 in Lincoln, Woonsocket area here. 95 on the northbound side, it is 5 in Attleboro all the way out to Route 152 in North Attleboro. Doing an accident on 95 on the northbound side around Route 152 in North Attleboro here. 95 on the northbound side, a little slow before Route 128 in Canton here. 24 on the northbound side, a little slow before Route 128 in Canton here. Route 3 to the northbound side is slow from Derby Street and Hingham all the way after the Braintree split. 120 to the southbound side, and it is slow from 24 in Randolph all the way to the Braintree split here. Route 20 to the southbound side, a little slow after the Bourne roadway here. Route 3 to the northbound side, a little slow for the Kingston stretch from Route 38 all the way after Route 38 in the Kingston-Duxbury area here. 290 in the eastbound side, a little slow from Route 122A all the way after Route 9 in Worcester here. 129 on the northbound side, it is so for Route 1 in Norwood all the way out to after the pass the Mass Pike in Western Air, and 120 on the southbound side, so from 129 and waited all the way out to Route 3 in Woburn, 120 on the northbound side, a little slow from 93 in Redden all the way out to Route 129. 128 on the southbound side, so from 3 in Burlington all the way out to Twipel Road Wall Plan here. San Francisco Express on the northbound side, it is backed up from the Braintree split all the way at the Dorchester San Francisco Express on the southbound side. Get an accident in Dorchester just before the Morrissey Boulevard, so expect delays on the San Francisco Expressway on the southbound side from Mass Ave all the way to Dorchester here. 93 to the southbound side, a little slow from Levin Connector all the way after the Mass Pike here. Mass Pike at the eastbound side, a little slow from Western all the way out to the Alston Brighton towards Mass Pike on the westbound side, a little slow from the Logan Airport all the way out to South Boston. 7 tunnel is slow. Callan tunnel is looking good here. 93 to the southbound side is slow from 120 Random all the way to the Zakenberg southbound side. So from Route 60 to Revere all the way out to Route 93 in Reddit here. Route 3 to the southbound side, a little slow from 485 in Low all the way up to the Millwork and hit break schedule for Route 128 in Burlington here. Route 495 on both ends of the slow from Route 3 and Low all the way up to Tewksbury here. 93 to the southbound side, a little slow around Route 62 to Wilmington here. 485 on the southbound side, and also from Route 28 in Andover all the way out to Route 133 in Lowell here. 93 on the southbound side, slow after Route 485 in Andover here. Up in New Hampshire here, we got an accident on 95 Norman Avenue to Route 101 in Hampton, New Hampshire, and a 95 southbound got an accident before 495 in Amesbury here. Spotted turnback to the southbound side, a little slow around Route 4 in Durham. Up in Maine, the main turback's looking good from York to Augusta Viewport to 295. It's looking good from Portland all the way up to Gardner here. Okay, let's take a look at MBTA alerts here at 8:40. Civil line SL5 expensive about delays due to traffic. Civil line SL4 expensive about delays due to traffic here. Commuter rail, Franklin line train 7:10, 7:45 a.m. from inbound is operated in 10 to 15 minutes between scheduled between Endicott and South Station due to slippery rail. Kingston Plymouth line, Kingston line, train 040, 8:37 a.m. from Kingston will operate 5 to 10 minutes beyond scheduled between Kingston and South Station. Kingston line, train 033, 7 a.m. from 11 a.m. from South Station, creating delayed 15-25 minutes between Halifax and Kingston due to a truck problem here. Kingston line, train 038 is operated 30-35 minutes beyond schedule between Halifax and South Station due to a truck problem here. Kingston line, train 036, 7 a.m. from Kingston is operated 35 minutes beyond schedule between Halifax and Boston here. Needham line, train 606, 82 a.m. from is operating 5 to 10 minutes beyond schedule between Hershey and South Station, and Needham line, train 604, 7:30 a.m. from inbound operated 10 to 15 minutes beyond schedule approaching West Roxbury due to mechanical problem here. Peter Chaldusab is out 8:41. Time now for weather report here, and we have the National Weather Service has issued a freezing rain advisory from 6 a.m. to noon Tuesday for Litchfield counties in Connecticut, Hartford County in Connecticut, Berkshire, Hampton, and Hampshire, and Franklin counties in Massachusetts. Says light freezing rain expected to fall across the upper Berkshires by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Before it changes at all, rain is small only in trace sites. Should expect we are stressed that people driving on area roadways drive with extreme caution during the morning hours, and areas of freezing rain will quickly glaze roadways. Now, look here. 7-day forecast goes like this. Here. Okay, for today, showers likely made between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Then rain likely after 4 p.m. Most skies got about 45 degrees. In east with about 3 to 5 miles an hour. Chest pace is 70%. New Brisbane miles between the temperature water and inch possible. Today, rain may before 1 a.m. Then showers likely after 1 a.m. Areas of fog lower at 41 degrees. Cobweb became north. Westward 5 miles to the chest pace and 9%. New Brisbane miles between the temperature quarter and inch possible. Wednesday, showers likely made for 1 p.m. Then rain mainly after 1 p.m. Areas of fog before 8 a.m. Whereas 151 degrees and light available wind. Chest pace is 80%. New Brisbane between the temperature quarter and inch possible. From Wednesday, rain likely made before 1 a.m. Then a chance of showers after 1 a.m. Lower at 45 degrees and south for about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Becoming southwest after midnight. Chest pace is 90%. New Brisbane between the quarter and half inch possible. For Thursday, slight chance of showers before 10 a.m. Most of the south skies about 50 degrees and west from about 8 to 17 miles can stay 34 miles an hour. Chest pace is 20%. Thursday, most skies about 31 degrees. Friday, Saturday, most skies about 46 to about 31 degrees. Saturday, Sunday, most skies about 45 to about 29 degrees. Sunday, most skies about 50 to about 32 degrees. And for Monday, most of the skies about 47 degrees. Here. Currently in Norton, it's 23 degrees with fair skies and a humidity of 88% here. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel morning news here on this Tuesday morning, 1st of December 2015 here. Peter Wizzy, have a good morning and a good Padre to you here.